65 is a new sci-fi movie that is directed by some people whose names I can't remember at the moment. I think one of their names is Scott Beck or something, or Alan Beck. It doesn't really matter. Adam Driver plays a character who is on this long space mission in the movie. He's on this ship with a bunch of cryo tubes with other people. He's supposed to, like, it's an exploratory mission, I guess. Along the way, his ship gets crashed into by an asteroid field or something, and his ship crash lands on Earth. But the catch is that it crash lands on Earth 65 million years ago in the past. That's right, when dinosaurs were still around. So now his ship has been split in two, and he finds out that there's only one other survivor on his ship. It's this little girl. Now he and the little girl have to navigate this alien planet with dinosaurs on it, and they have to find the other part of their ship, and they have to, you know, get out of there. The fucked up part about this review is that I was actually kind of interested in this movie. I think Sam Raimi may have produced this film, and I saw Adam Driver and I saw a sci-fi movie, and I said, you know what? That looks like it could at the very least be fun. Speaking of Adam Driver, it's time to sing praise to like the best thing about the movie, Adam Driver. Adam Driver is giving his all in this movie. He's not given the best material to work with. What he is given to work with, he shines with it. Like you watch Adam Driver, you're like, that's a damn good actor in a kind of boring, kind of shitty movie. I'm also gonna give credit to the little girl too, played by Ariana. She was good in the movie too. She, again, is not given a lot to work with. Also, the movie is an interesting premise. I mean, we do have to establish that. A guy that's from a race that's like another alien humanoid type of race that's from the future, and he crash lands on our planet in the past. That sounds really interesting. And then you add up the fact that he has all this future tech and he's supposed to fight dinosaurs. It's like, okay, that sign me up, right? Like, that's what I was thinking. And I like some of the future tech. I like the way his guns and some of the technology looks. It looks cool. It looks somewhat interesting. This movie should have been so much more. It could have been so much more. I was expecting the movie to be so much more even while I was watching it. I was like, no way. There's gonna be some point in this movie where it's gonna get good. And then about halfway through the movie, I was just like, it's not gonna get good, is it? It's just gonna be like this for the entire film. Then 30 minutes later, I was like, oh shit, the movie's over. Well, they don't do anything interesting with the fact that he's like from another civilization other than like the technology that he uses to help him in this current situation. A lot of this movie is just, you know, walking and traveling and going through a bunch of CGI forests to get to where they need to get to. That would be fine if the characters felt like people you could get invested in. That would be fine if the character development itself was set up in a way that really made you care about the ending of this movie. Like, the whole point is that this girl reminds him of his daughter, and so it does feel like a futuristic, prehistoric version of The Last of Us. Unfortunately, the relationship between him and this girl is very one note. They create this thing in the movie where she can't talk because she speaks a different language than him. It makes all of their conversations one-sided. The entire movie is pretty much just him saying stuff and then her kind of awkwardly repeating it. It doesn't create a lot of scenarios for you to really bond with these characters, for you to really get to know them. And that would be fine if you could have like a bunch of cool dinosaur action in the meantime, but you don't really get a lot of that either. The dinosaur action that you get is filled with poor visual effects. They're also poorly filmed and staged. There's just not a lot of dino action. Like, a lot of it is really just about him and this girl walking through the mountainside. You do see like a couple of dinosaurs where you're like, that doesn't look recognizable to that period or any period. And I would know this because I'm like a huge dinosaur nerd and I was obsessed with dinosaurs when I was a kid. And I could probably tell you every single dinosaur that ever existed with my, I was gonna say with my eyes closed, but that doesn't really make sense. There's no tension from an action standpoint. There's no tension from an emotional standpoint. It's kind of like, what are we doing here? You get to the end of the film, it's only an hour and a half. Somehow it feels like the movie was even longer than that. That's why sometimes when people get caught up on runtime and the length of a movie, it doesn't matter how long a movie is or how short a movie is. It's all about how it's paced and how it's executed. This movie has shitty pacing. This movie has uninteresting characters. This movie doesn't even have good or suspenseful dinosaur action to fall back on. By the time they try to do some of that, it doesn't look that good, and then it's over, and then it's kind of like, okay, what did I waste my time here with? 65 honestly felt like a gigantic prehistoric waste of time. I'm gonna leave this one in Smallville. Adam Driver, and there's a scene where he shoots a dinosaur. That's really the only investment you could have in a movie like this. Guys, tell me what your favorite dinosaur movie of all time is. Go ahead and put that in the comment section down below. Please like and subscribe to the Superfan Show, and if you like what you see, tell me how you feel, and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.